Tractor beam activated. It's pulling us in. Oh no!
I know. I screwed up. It won't happen again, I promise.
See that it doesn't? We're not running a cruise ship here. We need our helmsman at his post.
Yes, sir. Hear you loud and clear.
Bortus, what are you eating?
I apologize, Captain. Am I disturbing you?
No, I'm just curious.
It is called gum. According to the ship's database, it was once used as an addiction recovery aid.
Is it helping?
It is not.
Are you tired of going out in public looking like a stupid bastard? Well, not anymore. Cover up your shame and let JP put his fun time inside you with EGOTASTIC tees. What are you waiting for? Click on the link below to get wet with fashion.
I'm gonna like the way you look.
EGOTASTIC tees!
What's up, one and all? Welcome to Talking the Orville, where we hang out and we talk about the show that we love, the Orville, and we talk about other shows too, and we talk about life, and we're just hanging out, chilling, have a good time, you guys. What is going on? Let me see who's here right now. Abby CM, Sci-Fi Mombi, Deck KP 20, Mr. Pine, Margot B, Archmage Frey, T-Bone, Joy Don, and more of you are in the chat. If I scroll back, and there's more of you filing in as we speak. What's up? T-Bone says, sup. Oh, wow. T-Bone also says, Talking the Orville, I haven't been here in a few years. Sadly. Typos are welcome here as well. What is going on, you guys? We are waiting to hear something officially official. I mean, we have heard Seth MacFarlane say when it comes to season 4, making a season 4, he's working on it. That's very, very, very good. He says the show is not canceled, but we have not yet seen an official announcement of the forthcoming season of the Orville. Hashtag Forville, hashtag renew the Orville, hashtag the Orville, hashtag what's up. Joy Don's got those happy faces coming in to the chat here. Sci-Fi Mombi says, typos always welcome because words are hard. Wording is hard, I do have to say. I'm trying to write at least, well, the first draft of the Orville fan film that I'm putting together with Axonar to put a nice, high-quality Orville universe fan film out there for we fans of the Orville galaxy, the galaxy we live in right now. Having a hard time putting the story together. Everything's got to be right. I need to have I got the premise, of course, but the struggle, the plans that are going through in the story. I have to get it all figured out and put in order. But it's coming along, you guys. I found a nice writing free online script writing program. I can't remember what it's called. Let me look at it real quick here. It is called Studio Binder. And it's got a great program for writing scripts and doing, storyboards and all kinds of cool stuff like that. Co-host Vic, what's going on? If you don't make typos, are you even typing? Not me. If I'm not making typos, I'm not typing. Because when I type, I make a lot of typos. I go back and I fix them, but Chaos Lord Green. It's very unlike he will tell what he knows. Talking about me or talking about Seth? Because both can be true. But the fact that Seth even said he's working on getting the 4th season, that means it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just not going to happen on our schedule. It's not going to happen when we want it. Co-host Vic, hey, talking to Orville. If you don't know me, I'm Sci-Fi Mombi's co-host, and I decided to join and see what your streams are about. Well, our streams are about talking about whatever we want to talk about, but it's usually pretty heavily laden with the Orville. Renew the Orville, you guys. I'm thinking about, I haven't really done it, creating a design, a shirt, a hat, an apron, a tote bag. No, probably just a shirt and a hat of Renew the Orville. That way you guys can wear merch. That lets everybody know we need to renew the Orville. Maybe I'll do that later today. Since I'm not driving anymore today, I find the afternoons on a Tuesday are pretty lackluster when it comes to driving around town trying to make some of that moolah, you guys. Greetings, Curtis Tate. How are you today? Let's let everybody know that Curtis Tate is here. Chaos was talking about Seth. Yeah, the fact that Seth says anything at all is a very, very good sign because the dude knows the deal. The dude knows that you can't just hint at a little something without people taking it to heart and assuming all kinds of stuff. So he wouldn't say that unless he's really trying to do it, right? John Burns, thank you so much. Very first super chat of the stream today. John Burns, is it going to go how it was described? No money? You talking about a season 4 of the Orville? No, I'm sure there'll be a bunch of money given to the Orville to make a 4th season. Whether it'll be the same amount as season 3 was given, I do not know. Maybe it'll have more money this time around. But I think the amount of money they had last time, which was quite a bit, would be more than enough to get a great season of the Orville put out for us to enjoy. Chaos says, well, have a good one. Love your content. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Chaos. Thanks for stopping by. Very much appreciated. All of you that are here, hanging out with your fellow Orvillians. Barry says, damn, late to the party again, but at least I made it. Well, it just started a couple minutes ago, so you got here at a pretty good time, Barry. Worry not. Mr. Pine wants to know, has anyone watched the new Bad Batch season? You guys will have to let me know. I haven't watched any of Bad Batch. I haven't watched, in fact, I've talked about this before the year 2024, which is the year we are currently in right now. I'm not watching any big, huge IPs that have been around for decades and decades and decades. I'm spending my time watching smaller films that I've been distracted from watching because there's all this big stuff happening all the time. So for 2024, I'm watching smaller stuff. Every once in a while, there'll be something like I plan on watching the new Ghostbusters because Ghostbusters aren't putting stuff out multiple times a year for decades and decades and decades. We just get one every once in a while, and barely even that. So I do plan on watching the new Ghostbusters as soon as I'm able to watch it. You got to go outside and go to a place and pay money, blah, 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 blah. That's how they get you with busting. John Burns says, retired Ed and Gordon adventures. I'd watch that. Oh, something from the future further down the line in the Orville timeline, perhaps? Retired Ed and Gordon. I hope they never retire. I hope they just keep getting accolades showered upon them and they keep going on adventures. T-Bone's going to see Ghostbusters on Saturday. Can't wait. I haven't made any plans to see it. I didn't realize it was coming out so soon. I just saw a little promo on something yesterday that it's coming out this week. I thought I had a long time to wait. I guess I do not. But I'm ready to see what Frozen Empire shenanigans will be coming up against in the new Ghostbusters with all the living OG Ghostbusters in it. Mr. Pine. Seth does have American Dad, Family Guy, and a few others that he's still working on. Plus, I think he's either doing a movie or he's in one that's coming out soon. Well, Seth is very busy. He's got a lot of projects going on. I know he's also planning on making a movie, maybe a movie, maybe it's a TV show. It could be either one. He's redoing Naked Gun. I don't know if he plans on being in it or just producing it or what. But I'm down to check it out. And as we know, the new Ted series is from Seth MacFarlane on Peacock, which is Seth MacFarlane's main gig right now, is working on for NBC. The Ted series has smashed records, blown everything out of the park that Peacock has produced before, all their other really cool originals. And they got some really good ones on Peacock. Apparently, the new Ted series rocked it out of the park. So I'm sure at some point, though I don't think it would take much of an effort to put a second season out, doesn't take that long to write or film the Ted series. I'm sure at some point we'll be getting a season 2, but I don't know if season 2 will be out before or after he starts working on the Orville. Deck KP20 says, hope you're having a good day, JP. Bring us more of the Orville. I'm trying to bring as much Orville as I can, still trying to make sure as many eyeballs are being introduced to the Orville or reminded about the Orville so that they'll go and say, hey, I should watch the Orville for the first time or again. That's what I'm doing right now while I'm trying to rebuild the channel. I've been trying to bring the channel back to life after being demonetized for technically 3 months, but it's really a lot more than that. Putting out Orville shorts. I got a whole new batch of shorts that I'm coming out with. It's working pretty well so far. Let me tell you guys some of my numbers that's going on right now. Right now, I'm getting about 1 million views a day on this channel with shorts. Now, shorts, it sounds like a lot, a million a day. It sounds like a lot. But with shorts, it's not. It's just a little tiny fraction of what you would normally be getting with long form videos. But it's all in the hopes of just getting people's eyes on the Orville and building up this channel again after it was slapped down by YouTube for all those months. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's a little, but a little is better than nothing at all. We're getting new subscribers. I've gotten over the last month, probably about 5,000 new subscribers. So welcome, any of you are here for the first time. I see a lot of new names here today. Good to see you. Welcome. You are welcome here. You're welcome to like the things that you like. A lot of people don't let others like the things that they like. Well, here on this channel, you can like the things that you like. So don't be afraid to talk about the things that you like. And I know one thing we all like is the Orville. T-Bone says, all pressure on JP to get a season 4. It's on me. It's on my shoulders. I don't think I'll be the one that gets a season 4. I think it'll be the cast and crew and Seth MacFarlane that brings it, but I'm going to do my best to help make sure people are there to watch it when it does arrive and to be excited for it before it arrives and when it arrives. Another thing that we'll be doing in the Orville universe starting next month, once a month, we're going to be joining new channel sponsors, Miniature Dragon Publishing. We're going to be playing once a month live right here on Talking the Orville, possibly on Twitch as well at the same time, multi-stream. I don't know. We'll see about that. We're going to be playing the Orville. Basically, it's an Orville RPG tabletop game created by Miniature Dragon Publishing. He's getting all the books and I don't know anything about how to play a tabletop RPG game like a Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons type thing. I've never played it. Never played anything like that. So I'm going to be learning from the get-go live right here on this channel once a month. We're working out the time and day and those who are joining us to be players right now. So I don't have an exact time and date, but it'll be coming up really soon. And that'll help us explore the Orville universe on a tabletop game. So I hope you guys are interested in hanging out and checking that out and learning along with me or helping me learn, because I know a lot of you out there are familiar with that type of gaming. John Burns, we never got to see the Dance Dance Revolution scene. I'm ready. We must return to the dance. The night is ours. Anyone excited? Barry wants to know if anyone's excited for X-Men 97. I haven't been. I know that there's an X-Men 97 something project coming about. I don't know anything about it. I do know that I used to watch X-Men back in 1997. I think it was on Fox, if I recall. Loved the old X-Men cartoon. That's what made me Dan Dan Revolution. That's what we do need. We need that, and we need some X-Men 97. So I don't know what the project is for X-Men 97, but I do know I've seen like little promotions, this and that, but I guess I didn't pay attention. But I'll be down. If I have access to it, I'll be down to check out X-Men 97. Ooh, are you making the cardboard cutout? I don't know yet. I don't know. I know nothing of what's going to be going on. I do know that our first live stream is going to be called, I think it's called Session 0. It's a character creator session. So we'll be on there. The company has a couple of players. I have someone that I'm inviting in that you guys might know of. Hopefully they're able to join us. And we're going to try this out. We're going to start off with character creation, and then the next stream, so forth, we'll be actually playing the game. No, I have not seen Dune. I should see Dune. Dune is something I could see, despite the fact that I have the rule of no huge IPs for 2024. I don't count Dune because Dune's not like trying to put out content every month of the year forever and ever and ever. It's not distracting me from anything. So I can see Dune. I just have to see Dune. I have to sit down and watch it. I'm trying to sit down and watch. I talked about this last week. Killers of the Flower Moon, Flowers of the Killer Moon, whatever that Scorsese film is. It takes place in Oklahoma's history. I want to see it, but man, 3.5 hours. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to sit here for 3.5 hours and watch this movie. John Burns says, the big question is your beard game on while role-playing? Yes. I'm hoping to play as a Retepsian. Retepsian is one of the races you are allowed to play as in this game. I plan on playing as a Retepsian because I've always wanted to play a Retepsian on the Orville, so I might as well play in the Orville tabletop game. Archmage says, X-Men 97 comes out tomorrow on Disney. It's a new animated series, which continues from when the old show ended. Oh, nice. That would be very interesting to me. I don't think I currently have Disney Plus. My trial of Disney Plus, my super cheap trial that I got for Black Friday, I think that is now over with. I think it was a 3-month trial. T-Bone, what's your Twitch channel name, JP? It's EGOTASTIC FUNTIME. There's also should be a link in the description of this video. I don't know. I think we probably might multi-stream to Twitch and to YouTube when we're playing the Orville RPG game. Yeah, JP appears as a USPS guy, United Special Parcel Service. You know it, United Space Parcel Service. Oh, you're holding a grudge against Scorsese for his MCU comments. Basically, if I recall, Scorsese called like all the superhero movies and stuff like basically a roller coaster ride. It's not a real movie. I get what he's saying, but I don't know his exact quote, so I can't really chat about it. I mean, I coming from a place of knowledge, I just know he said something that turned some people off, but also everybody says something that turns somebody off on the internet nowadays. So I never know. I never know what the true statement is. But yeah, he probably does. Compared to the regular films Scorsese does, he probably doesn't have an interest in like the superhero, big blockbuster movies. He's more interested in the really long, dragged out movies. Silly old Scorsese. Yeah, we're going to roll for initiative, Arkham. I assume. I have no idea. I have no idea what this game's going to be about. I'm going to find out live over the live streams. And then, you know, once a month for the entire year, 2024, we're going to be playing it once a month. And we'll see how the campaign goes. I know they're writing a big old campaign for us. Mark Lawrence, thank you so much for that super duper chat. Mark says, can't stay long. I'm the only male chaperone on a field trip to Universal Studios today. Jaloja indeed. Jaloja one and all. Oh, Universal Studios. I almost filled out. Peacock is wanting, send an email. They have like a drawing. You enter the drawing and you can win tickets to a 1 or 2 day, 2 night trip to Universal Studios, all paid for, blah, blah. But I didn't do it because I'm like, oh, it's just another thing to put all your information into and have it sold to spammers. So I didn't do it because I wasn't going to win anyway, right? But I used to love going to Universal Studios back in the day when I was living in Los Angeles. Loved Universal Studios. I loved the tour. A lot of people probably find the tour boring. I love the tour. I love riding around the back lot and seeing where they filmed this or where they filmed that. And then they have a little bit of surprises going on while you're there. They have King Kong. They have an area where a subway gets flooded. It's fun. So it's a little bit ride. It's a little bit actually in the back lot. It's pretty cool. John Smith. And if that was all he said, people wouldn't still be talking about it today. But he had to drive it into the ground. That's my issue, not his opinion. Yeah, I have no idea. I know he said something. I don't know what the driving into the ground part is. Maybe he just kept expounding upon what he said. Or maybe he said it more in other interviews. I don't care one way or the other. I learned a long time ago not to care about other people's opinions. I care what people do, not what they say. Because what people do is what matters. And that dude, Scorsese, he did Goodfellas. He did Casino. So I can let him go. I can let him slide a little bit. Jumbo says, where can I watch the Orville? If you're in the United States, you can watch it on Hulu or on Disney Plus. If you are not in the United States, you can watch it on Disney Plus. It should be available pretty much everywhere Disney Plus is available. And you can watch all current 3 seasons of the Orville. Season 1, season 2, and season 3, they don't always call it season 3. They call it New Horizons because it is kind of a whole new to-do. It's a huge step up from the first 2 seasons, but all 3 go together very well, especially since season 3 has so much stuff in it, in the stories that took place in previous seasons. Yeah, you can also purchase the Orville Season 3 digitally on Amazon. Archmage said the new generation, but you probably meant the next generation. Yeah, Universal Studios is a great place. I do remember not liking all the elevation. There's a lot of up and down. There's a lot of staircases at Universal Studios because it's in a very mountainous little part of Hollywood, right there with the Hollywood Hills. And there's hills. You got to go up and down. I remember I used to love also, they had the backdraft experience, which basically a bunch of stuff catches on fire. And man, you can really feel the heat and you're surrounded by all this fire while you're inside of, I don't know, some warehouse or something. Barry says, is there any Gilliac trash here or am I the only one? I'm sure there's a couple of Gilliac trash sitting here. When is the birthday month for the Gilliacs? Does anyone remember? I'm forgetting. But there is a month. Is this something that was able to be figured out, what month the Gilliacs are? All I know, it's the same month. Kelly and Bortis have the same have their birthdays in the same month of the year, and that month of the year is when Gilliacs are born. John Smith says, I saw the Acolyte trailer. That's Star Wars. Star Wars has another show coming out called The Acolyte, starring what's her face that played Trinity in The Matrix. I can't remember her name right now. I couldn't tell what it was about either. It definitely looks like it takes place before Anakin grew up and killed all the younglings, because there's younglings being trained in the trailer. And it looks like the same room from the prequels. It has a prequel look to it. Some of it. Yeah, Carrie-Anne Moss. That's exactly right. That's who's in it. Cannot tell what it's about. It's just Star Wars stuff going on. That I won't be able to watch, if at all, until 2024. I'm not watching any Star Wars, any Star Trek, any Marvel until 2024 is over. Then I'll get back into it. Right now I'm watching smaller movies. Okay. John Smith says, yeah, the synopsis for The Acolyte says it takes place 100 years before the prequels. So we're just going further back, further back, further back, further back. Is that what you wanted, George Lucas? Is that what you wanted? I mean, I don't want to blame George Lucas. He already did the stuff that he did to Star Wars. It's all new people, new generations affecting Star Wars at this point. He just sold all his shares and sitting back and counting his money. Yeah, set in the High Republic. Deadpool I might see, because it is an off-brand Marvel movie. There's always going to be certain exceptions that I make. But those exceptions will probably never be a television show, because that's going to be 7, 8, 10 hours. Maybe a movie, if it's available right in front of me and it's not too big. Carrie-Anne Moss, she was in the zombie movie Fido with Billy Connolly. I think I saw Fido. I saw some of Fido. That was a while ago. Yeah, soon they will be in 2015. Yeah, I'm a big Deadpool fan, so I might have to break my blockbuster fast for Deadpool. What's up, Wondersaurus? I'm rewatching Battlestar and Stargate. That's a lot of stars. Ooh, Battlestar Galactica, the remake from 20 years ago. That's so freaking good. I've kind of want to watch that. All these years, I've kind of been missing Colonel Ty. You feel like Deadpool ripped off the Orville. Well, didn't the first Deadpool come out before the Orville came out? Here, if Mark is still here, Deck KP20 has a question. Do they still have the Simpsons 3D ride at Universal Studios, the one in Florida? I don't know. I don't know much about the Florida one. I know about Universal Studios Hollywood, and I know about Disneyland. I don't know about Disney World or Universal Studios Florida. John Smith says, and yeah, I'm hyped for Ghostbusters too. I'm seeing it whenever my local team is not playing in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, you got to go get some Ghostbusters. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And this movie will have Slimer in it. I want to see what they do with Slimer. Will Slimer be just a quick cameo, or will they actually have Slimer be a little bit more of a character this time? When really Slimer was never much of a character in the original Ghostbuster films, but he was a character in the real Ghostbusters cartoon. Curtis Tate is rewatching Babylon 5. Good old Babylon 5. Babylon 5 has got some great stories. Are they still coming out with the new Babylon 5, or did that get tabled or shelved or canceled, or is it still coming out? I have no idea. With the Orville, it was part of the plot that had been building up. Did the Orville start Deadpool, maybe? Does Deadpool take place in the Orville universe? Gordon went back in time. Maybe he created a Deadpool. Barry says they believe the Simpsons ride is still there. Yeah, the real Ghostbusters. Man, I remember when they introduced the real Ghostbusters. Remember on Saturday mornings, because there was Saturday morning cartoons. Before cartoons were 24/7, they were on Saturday mornings. I remember every fall, they would have a sneak peek of all the new Saturday morning cartoons. It would be on one special day. And I remember they had a sneak peek of the new real Ghostbusters cartoon. And then they eventually came on and they started playing it. I watched it like crazy. I loved it. Deadpool takes place in all universes. I can go with that, Barry. And Deadpool is breaking the fourth wall of all those universes. It's all Disney now. They can make it work. Arkham Frey, the Babylon 5 movie came out a few months ago. That's the animated one, right? It looked really good. And Bruce Boxleitner reprises his role, and it's basically his character was the star of it. The show is up in the air since the CW is pretty much dead now. JMS is shopping it around. Yeah, the CW. Yeah, I have no idea what's up with the CW anymore, because I stopped watching all the superhero stuff that they had. I watched a lot of it back in the day. Finally got tired of this. Like, I love The Flash. And then eventually I was like, you know what? This is all kind of the same every season. So I stopped watching it. But yeah, I have no idea what the CW is up to. Do they have anything new? Do people watch it anymore? In Deadpool, the Dolly Parton fight was random. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's the connection. Dolly Parton and Deadpool. And Havina. John Smith says that is basically what the new movie is about, merging the old X-Men universe with the current Marvel universe, basically. Yeah, I know, like, when Deadpool first came out, the first one, it's like, okay, this is definitely not regular Marvel. This is a little side project Marvel. And then the second one, they were trying to merge a little bit with the X-Men. Like, they had, 2 or 3 X-Men characters, and they talked about X-Men, and they went to the the school and all that stuff, but it wasn't really in the Marvel universe because X-Men wasn't really in that Marvel universe. That was always trying to be a side project as well. And now the third one, it looks like we're going legit. They've merged X-Men into Marvel, and now they're merging Deadpool into X-Men, which merges it into Marvel. It's a whole to do, you guys. I'm sure Deadpool 4 will be in the DC universe. CW, they only have a couple supernatural spinoffs, etc., from the old guard left. Yeah, because it's been a while since I've even paid attention to the CW. I would think they'd have a whole new to do. I remember it was Green Arrow, Flash, Supergirl. What's the one with the team of villains and heroes? I can't remember what that one's called. I watched a little bit of that. What's up, Dave? Hildebrand says, talking to Mark, just don't Joloja in public unless you want to cause a scene. It's true. So Arkham says the CW canceled all their superhero stuff and are turning it into a home for cheap foreign shows and golf. That sounds like a lot of streaming services nowadays. I have a hard time with Netflix. You go on Netflix, I have a hard time finding a movie that I want to watch. And when I do, I click on it and it's not even in English. I only speak English. Nothing against other languages, and other countries are putting out some great movies, but I only speak English and I don't like voiceover. So I have a hard time with Netflix because they just shove it all together anymore. It's not separated or anything. So you might be thinking you're watching, some movie that you're really interested in the story, and the whole thing took place in Norway and they don't speak English. What you gonna do? I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna read on screen. I want to see people's faces when they talk, so I can really get all the emotion from the words they speak, from their mouth holes. Deadpool and Red Hood would be hilarious. Red Hood. Now that's Red Hood. Isn't Red Hood DC? Lupin is amazing, though. That's the only foreign language show I will watch. I haven't heard of it. John Burns says, I'm so ignorant, I can barely speak English. Yeah, I don't speak it that good. I don't speak it so good, but I can understand it. Yep, Red Hood is DC. Because the X-Men and Deadpool were under Fox, and everything Fox did was outside the MCU films. Gotcha. Yeah, it always comes down to lawyers and contracts, and technically this is owned by Sony, technically it's owned by Marvel, technically it's owned by Disney, this and that. Keeps everything separate. But then things merge, companies merge their projects together, especially nowadays, because you can barely make something on your own anymore. One studio can barely make a single movie anymore. When you watch a movie, you'll see 4 or 5 studio logos before the movie starts. And that's when you're like, uh-oh. John Burns read The Boy and the Heron movie. Beautiful. I haven't heard of that. I did watch that movie, Jules, a fun, quirky, low-key sci-fi movie. Highly recommended. Barry says, I only know 2 languages, English and Bad English. There's the band, Bad English. Co-host Vic, what I mean is, if Deadpool was in the DC universe, Red Hood would be his match. The only difference between them is Red Hood doesn't break the 4th wall. Well, I think Deadpool should team up with the Hulk, because the Hulk breaks all walls. First, second, third, fourth. If there was a fifth wall, the Hulk would break it. That was from The Fifth Element. All right. That's where the English and Bad English quote's from. Speaking of DC, I tried playing, this is months ago at this point, Arkham Knights. No, not Arkham, Gotham Knights. I could not get into that. I don't like the gameplay style or the look of it. The city looks too clean and too unlived in, and the gameplay is weird to me. Just because I'm so into the Arkham games are perfect games. Perfect mechanics, perfect stories, perfect visuals. So I couldn't get into Gotham Knights. I really wanted to, though. Yeah, She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall, at least in the comics. In the TV show, She-Hulk, the lawyer, whatever, on Disney Plus, she breaks the fourth wall a bunch of times. It's pretty. At one point, she really breaks the fourth wall in a really great way, but I won't spoil it for you. But it's crazy. I'm like, what? This is insane. JP, The Boy and the Heron Japanese movie includes subtitles, hence reading. Oh my gosh. Reading. Like in school. Co-host Vic. I love the Arkham games. I was just playing Arkham City on Switch while watching this. Nice. Those Arkham games are so dang good. Arkham City, I think, is my favorite one. Arkham Asylum, of course, was really great, especially for a first game for the series. I really love Arkham Knight, except for the Batmobile. Everybody wanted the Batmobile. We all wanted it, and we got it, and I hate it. It sucks. I hate all the Batmobile gameplay. I couldn't afford to buy it, but I watched some of the Kill the Justice League because, man, Suicide Squad, love play Suicide Squad. Doesn't look like the kind of game I would like. I watched some gameplay of it. I'm like, also looks too clean. Too much stuff going on. I'd really wish it was more of Arkham style where you just have a big map and you're basically sandboxing it. Arkham Origins is Co's fixed favorite. Arkham Origins, that was made by the different company. I can't remember the company. It wasn't Rocksteady. It was some other one. I like that game too. I wish they ported it to PlayStation 4 or 5. I would totally play it again. It's not as good as the other Arkham games, but it's still pretty damn decent. And the crime stopping, the investigation stuff is really good in Arkham Origins. But that's back on my PS3, which I don't have hooked up or anything, so I'm not going to play it. Yeah, the Batmobile was so overused. I hated. I didn't mind the like battling other vehicles in the street stuff, but when I was doing the races for the Riddler, I cannot stand it. Cannot stand the Riddler races with the Batmobile. But yeah, with the Batmobile, I never ever, because you can use the Batmobile almost anytime you want in the game. I never use it. It's just quicker to fly around with your cape. Deck KP20 says Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe in the comics. Hopefully, if Deadpool was in the Orville universe, he wouldn't kill them. He wouldn't kill them all. No, he wouldn't. Deadpool wouldn't kill anybody in the Orville universe except for maybe a random Mocklin or two and some Krill. Everyone else pretty okay. WB Games Montreal was the developer of Arkham Origins. Yes. I remember that now. Arkham Origins was made by WB Games, who did Gotham Knights. Yeah, Gotham Knights, I'm not into it. I've tried it. I love the idea of it. I love the premise. I love the premise of the Suicide Squad. But the gameplay just isn't my style. The regular Arkham games, yeah, that's my style. Spider-Man 2, that's my style. And Spider-Man 1. And Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus, that's my style. JP, there's a comparison video on YouTube between Mark Hamill and Tim Curry. Oh, that sounds like it'd be fun to watch. Yeah, I agree. Barry says, although I loved ejecting from the Batmobile and gliding after ejecting. Yeah, I did that a few times, but I mostly decided it wasn't worth driving it around, so I just would fly anywhere, all at once. Oh, Barry says, I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet. Oh, I highly recommend it. It's epic. And it's big. It's a really, really big game. It's double the size of the first one. I recommend putting it on the highest difficulty. I think it just feels better. As the Joker. Yeah, Tim Curry Joker, Mark Hamill Joker. Deck KP20 says the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game was okay. Yeah, that's why I hear a lot of people say it was okay. I watched a playthrough of some of it. I was like, it's kind of fun to watch a playthrough, but I'm not really into like playing that style. It's not quite my style. It's a little too much like a I don't know, just a bunch of enemies all over the city, and you're just going around wiping them up. Tim Curry was originally supposed to voice Joker in the animated series with Kevin Conroy. Tim Curry would be great. Would have been great. But, man, Mark Hamill, that dude, F. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill was made to play the Joker. He's so dang good. Barry says, I have to get a PS5 still. Yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 is only available on PS5s. Fiddler's Greena, what's going on? Socially appropriate greetings to all intelligent life in the universe. Well, I'm glad you said that during this live stream, because all intelligent life in the universe is watching this live stream right now. So you've come to the right place to put that message out. Tim Curry had other commitments at the time of the series was being made. Let's see. And that was probably, was that Batman the Animated Series from the 90s? Yeah, but that was back when Tim Curry did have a bunch of projects going on. Yeah, I can't afford a PS5 either. Sad. The last couple games I really want to play won't be for it. Maybe someday. You can find one, a used one for much cheaper, I bet. There's actually the PS5 Pro coming out eventually. I bet you once the Pro comes out, you'll be able to find the original PS5 for a lot cheaper. Yes, from the 90s. I remember when Batman the Animated Series had its sneak peek for Saturday morning cartoons. The Saturday morning cartoon sneak peeks were always done during primetime television on a weekday. It's just once a year. It's in the fall. And then you actually tune in on Saturday and the new stuff is there. Also heard they're working on PS6 now too. I wouldn't put too much stock into that. A PS6 won't be out for a long, long time. Probably 7 or 8 years. because people are still, I mean, the PS5 has been out for a couple of years now, and people are still barely getting it. As far back as Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Yeah, Tim Curry conflicts. That's a alliterative statement right there. Yes, I recall Batman the Animated Series was really good. Didn't they do some, didn't they have a revival of Batman the Animated Series, or are they still making them today? Something like that? Basically, they've made some Batman animated stuff that jumps off from the original animated series. Tim Curry, it's what's for dinner. Tim Vindaloo. Tim Tikka Masala. Tim Curry. Oh, I watched, I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I don't remember if I watched it I watched it pretty recently. On Amazon Prime, I did talk about it last week. The movie Ricky Stenicki, the new John Cena movie with Zac Efron and the rest, a couple other guys. Ricky Stenicki on Amazon Prime. Great, funny, raunchy comedy, dude comedy with a good message at the end. If you guys haven't checked it out, you got a recommendation from me, Ricky Stenicki. And I finally saw the trailer for the Iron Claw with Zac Efron all buffed up with his jaw all weird because I think he broke his jaw. Yeah, we talked about this last week. Finally saw the trailer for it. Man, I want to see that movie, but it's not available yet. DCKP20, I'm an Xbox guy. Now, isn't there a new generation Xbox as well? I signed on to PlayStation back in the PlayStation 1 era. So I've just been doing PlayStation ever since. But there's some good stuff on Xbox. My stepson has Xbox One and a PS5. But his Xbox is older. He doesn't have current generation, whatever that is. I don't even know what it's called. Xbox Part 4. Okay, Barry says they have made new series, but they don't continue from the original Batman series. I wish they'd make some Batman content that stems from the original Batman television series with Adam West. I would love that. If they tried to tackle that whole world, that whole vibe, and turn it into either a TV show, a movie, or a video game, or an animated series, I would love it. I think that'd be so fun. Xbox Series X. Arkham says, I was always a PlayStation guy. The only generation that changed that was when the 360 was above the PS3. The PS3. I have a PS3 in a box somewhere in my closet with all my games and everything. I should take it down, hook it up, set it to factory settings, and sell it. I wonder what a PS3 would go for nowadays. Arkham says they made 2 movies from the original 60s Batman with Shatner as Two-Face, but they stopped when Adam West died. I do remember one Batman movie, Batman the Motion Picture, or the Batman movie or something like that. It had a helicopter in it. That's all I remember. I don't remember a second one. That's awesome. I'll have to find that. Oh, did the second one not come out because Adam West died? Well, he died when he was old, much, much older. So that must have been pretty recent because Adam West just died a couple of years ago. The Xbox Series X was released in 2021. Oh, 2021. And there's 2 animated ones in the 2000s. It's too late now. I always wanted them to make a comedy, a Batman comedy movie where it takes place in the 60s version of Batman. I mean, they don't have to continue it. They can recreate the whole universe, but just have that vibe. And I wanted Will Ferrell to play Bruce Wayne and Michael Cera to play Robin. It's too late now. They're both too old. But I thought that would have been amazing if they did a Will Ferrell, Michael Cera Batman movie. Oh, we got another Barry. What's up, Barry? JP just got in here. Glad to have you here. Welcome to Talking the Orville. Watch some of the Bat in the Sun content. It's pretty good stuff. Bat in the Sun. Is see what Max has a bunch of DC animated stuff, right? Adam West died 7 years ago, come June. Adam West. Not this time, Joker. I loved Adam West Batman. So fun. Yeah, Joker. You can have John C. Reilly play the Joker. Will Ferrell would have made the campy seriousness into goofy comedy. He ruined Land of the Lost. I rewatched Land of the Lost a few months ago. I remember going to see that movie in the theater. I was super excited because I used to watch the original Land of the Lost. Marshall, Will, and Holly went on a routine expedition. So they made the remake, and I hated it in the theater. But I watched it again on, I don't know, HBO or something like that. And I thought it was okay. It was not great, but I didn't hate it as much as I hated it when I saw it in the theater. Biff, pow, wow, yikes. Adam West, remember he played Mayor West in Family Guy? So Adam West was a big a colleague of Seth MacFarlane. If Adam West was still alive, I bet you he would have showed up as a character on the Orville. Captain Mercer, we meet again. Well, yeah, one thing with the campy seriousness, that's a good way of putting it. Because the Adam West Batman, I mean, it's goofy as F, right? But they never treated it as goofy, even though it was super damn goofy. Batman and Robin were always super serious, and that's what sold it. Fiddler's Green. I loved the roping up and down skyscraper front with special guests making cameos out of the windows. Yeah, it's like an episode of Laugh-In or something like that. That was a trope from the 60s. It was great. Andy is a fan of Land of the Lost. Remember in Bill and Ted Strike Back, Will Ferrell played U.S. Marshal Will and Holly. Yeah, Marshal, Will, and Holly went on a route, and that was his idea. That was Will Ferrell's idea to name his character Marshal, Will, and Holly. Bat in the Sun films is different superheroes fighting over characters from other IPs, and it's all live action. Oh, that sounds fun. Like a bat in the sun, let me fight on. Magneto, you know you're the one. We meet for the last time. Dan Crane, what's going on? Official channel member Dan Crane. Hail PJ and the Orville Nation. PJ from Orville Nation is awesome. Can't stay. On my way to the baseball field to umpire. See you later. All right, have fun. Make awesome calls, Dan. Strike out those who need to be struck out. And save those that deserve to be saved. Bat in the Sun made so great videos. Burt Ward had a brief cameo in the Crisis on Infinite Earths CW crossover too. I used to always watch the CW. CWs would have a big event every season where they'd cross over all their different superhero shows. I watched Crisis on Infinite Earths, loved it. And yes, Burt Ward, who played the original Robin, basically played what I believe technically could be considered the older version of Robin, but it wasn't. It was just a guy. That was fun. Seeing Burt Ward. They used to have all kinds of great cameos on those crossovers. It was a big to-do. And every one of the shows had their own episode of the story. So you had to watch all the different shows to get the complete story. Marketing-wise, it's brilliant. It's probably all over with now. People are over it. That's what happens. People get over something, so people stop doing it. And then a few years go by, and then people aren't over it anymore, so they'll bring something back. Like even with it's the case for YouTube as well. YouTube, you'll see a lot of creators, and they still do it. They make videos that are with so much editing in order to help keep retention from the audience. There's so much editing going on in people's YouTube videos. Audiences finally got tired of it. And audiences are starting to retreat to more just regular videos again, just more laid back videos, videos with hardly any editing at all. But then eventually people will get tired of that and they'll go back to watching videos with a lot of editing in it. It's weird. People are weird, aren't they? They can never figure out what they want. Once they do, they want something else. And once they get that something else, they will go back to the original thing. What's up, Booger? Booger highly recommends the movie trailer for Grayson. Dick Grayson. Kelly Grayson. Oh my God. Is Kelly from the Orville a descendant of Robin from Gotham? From Batman and Robin? Think maybe. Is there any circus performers in her ancestry? Marketing-wise, they need to release Blu-ray media with the crossovers. Oh, they should. People would totally, lots of different people, fans would totally snatch that up. Speaking of Blu-ray, the Orville needs Blu-ray. None of the seasons have Blu-ray. Season 1 and Season 2, you get the regular DVD, 1080p. New Horizons has no physical media. It's all available digitally right now. I think down the road there'll eventually be some physical media. But right now, there's not. And we need some 4K is what we need. Don Ranger Power. Hello, JP and all. Hope everyone is well, despite the George Lucas situation that left Star Wars fans divided. Oh, I don't pay attention to Star Wars at all. So you're going to have to let me know what the George Lucas situation is that has divided Star Wars fans. What doesn't divide Star Wars fans? I ask you. I prompt you to tell me now what doesn't divide Star Wars fans. But I do need to know what's going on. I'm interested to know what's going on with George Lucas. Arkham Frey. I think the reason lots of people don't care about the editing is the extreme rise of people just listening in the car, etc. That's how I consume much of my YouTube without looking at the screen. Yeah, and also there's so much of it. Like you'll just watch a video showing you, how to change the batteries in your remote control for your TV. There is so much editing going on, just every little bit. I've tried it out myself. It's too much. It's too much to do, and people, get tired of it. Star Wars divides Star Wars fans. Don says there's a Deadline article. George Lucas comes out. Oh, wait, there's more. George Lucas comes out in support of Bob Iger, Disney and proxy battle. Creating magic is not for amateurs. Creating magic's for anyone who can create magic. And what that magic is up to the audience. But yeah, of course, George Lucas is going to come out in support of another bigwig. But yeah, anybody who can make magic, big or small. Don says, I remain neutral about George Lucas and Disney. However, I side with those who are disappointed in Power Ranger alum Austin St. John after his Hitler reference while promoting his Warrior line. Yeah, people got to be careful with referencing Adolf. Some people do it as if that's someone that deserves to be quoted. Unless you're trying to make a negative point, unless you're trying to make a point of how horrible it is, you shouldn't be quoting Adolf. Arkham says, I prefer seeing the person talking with some clips sprinkled in. A video where you don't see anyone, it's just 4-second clips of movies, ends up boring me anyway. I get it. I totally get it. John Burns, you are correct. John says, I thought friendship was magic. It is. It is. That's the magic. Friendship is magic. Booger, I am pretty much an amateur who never saw a single Star Wars movie. Could have come up with midichlorians. Oh, midichlorians. That divided Star Wars fans. Trying to put a microscope over the Force probably isn't the right thing to do with the Force. The Force should always be like, oh, it's something there. We don't understand it, blah, 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 blah. But say, no, it's just little things. It's little molecules that we can count under a microscope. It's just that. That's going to divide some Star Wars fans. Did Han shoot first or did Greedo shoot first? I don't know, but you're going to divide Star Wars fans. Will there be a season 4 of the Orville? Well, Seth MacFarlane, when asked about season 4 of the Orville, he replied, I'm working on it. So Seth is working on getting everything put in order, everything, all, dotting the I's and crossing the T's to get a 4th season of the Orville out for us. But I do know they're pretty much not filming season 4 right now. But when they're able to, and Scott Grimes said the same thing. It's not about if, it's about when. Booger says, sorry, my last comment suffered from autocorrect. That's what autocorrect does. Gets in the way. Yeah, those pesky midichlorians. Also, I never liked the word midichlorians. It reminds me of chlorine too much. Burger says, Han shot first. Well, no, if Han shot first, that makes him a bad guy. You should have Greedo shoot first, and that will redeem Han as a good guy. It doesn't matter. Han's a badass. He knows what's coming. He knew what Greedo was there for. He shot first. But also, it don't matter. It happened in a galaxy far, far away. I'm guessing filming end of the year, then properly. Yeah, here's the thing. If the Orville starts filming season 4 this summer, the earliest I think we would see the first episode of season 4 would be the very end of 2005, maybe December 2005. Because it takes a year to film it. And that's not even with all the effects and marketing and doing all the stuff they got to do to put it out. And also they have to put it out when it's the best time to put it out. If there's other big sci-fi off on other services somewhere, they're going to wait until that run is mostly over before they put out the Orville, because they don't want people's attention being distracted in other directions. They want it to go to the Orville, right? Yeah, 2025. Oh, I probably said it so fast that it sounded like 2005, but no, 2025. Sometimes my mouth gets lazy. Han shot first, and there are not walkie-talkies in ET. Oh, did they try to add some walkie-talkies in ET? I'm not familiar with any ET updates, just because I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, let me know. But yeah, it would be great if the Orville went back to filming this summer. Fingers crossed. I do know that some of the Orville crew, the TV show crew, not the ship crew, was hoping to be back in the studio last summer, but that didn't happen. So hopefully this summer. See, Jonathan Perez says, I never understood the hate towards midichlorians. It's new. It's a new thing that changed. So there's going to be a group of people that hate it. I don't care either way anymore. It's Star Wars. I just don't care. But I know other people care. And you should like the things that you like. I don't hate anything, because I found that was anti-productive to give hate to anything that's just some superficial piece of entertainment. Because having hate can affect your own life, your own brain. But yeah, I don't care about midichlorians, good or bad. Maybe we could have an animated Orville in the meantime. Well, there's a lot of creative people and a lot of creative fans out there, and a lot of those fans are very talented artists and animators. Maybe the fans should get together and make an Orville animated series. Oh, I did hear about that, Arkham. Arkham says, yes, years ago, they released ET with all the guns replaced with walkie-talkies. I think I did hear about that. It was such a silly thought that I just pushed it out of my mind. But yeah, that is silly. Oh, it'll be friendlier with walkie-talkies instead of guns. No, those fools, those government fools had guns. They were dangerous. Can't hurt ET with walkie-talkies. Where's the stakes? ET, they didn't add radios. They thought to remove shotguns. Shotguns. About the same size as a walkie-talkie. They might as well remove the bicycles from ET. John Smith says, I just interpreted midichlorians as the Star Wars gas equivalent to Darwinism, an alternate explanation for those not as spiritual as the old school Jedi. I thought of it as Star Wars trying to add some sort of science to Star Wars. And Star Wars isn't science fiction, it's sci-fi fantasy. Don't try to put real science in there. It ain't going to work. Yeah, Spielberg digitally edited the guns out of the FBI agent's hands and replaced them with walkie-talkies because he thought guns were bad. He has since recanted. Yeah, he must have just had he must have been going through a weird time in his life. Bring back the guns. Is there a good clue that the Orville will continue, or are we speculating? Well, most of the cast and crew believe that the Orville will be continuing. They say it themselves, but also Seth MacFarlane said he's working on bringing another season of the Orville. He's working on getting it started. And he says the Orville is not canceled in any way, shape, or form. Scott Grimes says it's just about figuring out when and where they're going to do it. But there hasn't been any, they're not producing it. It's not in production right now that I know. But Seth said he's working on it, and Seth is powerful, and Seth gets what he wants in Hollywood because the dude makes money for Hollywood. So Hollywood says, yes, make us more money, please. But also Seth has a lot on his plate right now, so he's just trying to get some of the sides worked on, and then he'll get back to the main meal. Yeah, the ET edit was not just a weapons issue. It spoke to the larger issue of digitally editing older movies at the time. Yeah, I don't think it should edit older movies so that it's no longer represents the vision that was originally the director's original vision. It's like taking Rosebud out of Citizen Kane. Yeah, C. Thomas Howell from The Outsiders was in E.T. C. Thomas Howell. I used to think his name was Thomas Howell because every time he was in a movie and there was a commercial, they'd always say, C. Thomas Howell in whatever movie. And I was like, oh, they want me to see Thomas Howell. And then eventually I figured out his name is C. Thomas Howell. Yeah, Barry agrees with me. I agree they should never try and explain how the Force works. I think the Force works better as an idea if there's mystery involved. Would have been better just to have the Jedi Knights on the scene discuss the strength of the Force in the boy. Yeah. We've got a strong Force, that little lad. And a bowl cut. Little Anakin, he was so cute. I have to say, little Anakin was just a cute little kid, man. He looked a lot in that first. Well, the little Anakin was only in the first movie. He looked a lot like my little brother at that age, so it just breaks my heart every time I see him because I'm just thinking of my little brother. Yeah, I hope we hear some Orville news soon as well. Something official, but I mean, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about the Orville coming back. I just don't know when it's coming back. But in my chats with those who matter, I've been led to believe, I've been left with the impression, I should say, that there's more coming. It's just going to be a while. The thing is, the guns were held by members of the federal government. This wasn't someone with a gun indiscriminately shooting people on a highway. It's okay for the government to protect themselves. Yeah, especially against aliens with big old long necks. Or is that just an extra esophagus? It's his sled. It's his sled from when he was a kid. There, it's just saved you 2 long booble hours, Peter Griffin. It's a sled. It's a sled from when he was a kid. When you explain a mystery, it makes the universe smaller and less interesting. I'm looking at you, Picard Season 2 with Wesley Crusher. Yeah, I enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Picard, but that's just because it was Picard, and I was like, oh, it's the TNG universe. But man, those first 2 seasons were nothing compared to season 3. Season 3 was a legit deal. You can actually skip the first 2 seasons and go straight to season 3 if you want to. It's a fresh new story. Season 3 of Picard is basically season 8 of The Next Generation. Did you see the update on Jake Lloyd? Not a super new update, but I know there was updates years ago where the kid's like, well, not a kid anymore, but Jake's like, isn't he in legal troubles or not? Maybe he's into drugs or something. I don't know. First rule of talking about the Force, you never talk about how the Force works. That's true. The E.T. game is meant to be terrible. Oh, I remember having that E.T. game on Atari way back in the day. Famously known as like the worst game ever made. There's a whole documentary on it. It's a great documentary. I hated that game so much. It was pretty much unplayable. But yeah, I was OG. I used to have it way back when I was a little one. When I was a youngling. Barry agrees with John Burns. Don't talk about how the Force works. Stop it. Don't talk about that Force. Booger says, although largely forgotten, the midichlorians is what led indirectly to all the random Force users in the Disney movies. Yeah, there's way too many Force users. Because basically it's like anybody can have the Force. Everybody has it. You just have to believe. Something like that. But yeah, there's all of a sudden anybody can have the Force. That's a little too much. Jonathan Perez says, the third season was amazing. I tell everyone to skip the first 2 seasons. Yeah, if you want, just watch The Next Generation. And when you're done with that, watch Picard season 3, and you will get the follow-up you always wanted. There's 1 or 2 little things from the first 2 seasons that pop up story-wise in season 3, but there's so little, you'll get it. You'll get it from context. Although in some ways, I think those orphan janitor characters were a nod to the internet phenomenon. That was Star Wars Kid. Oh, remember Star Wars Kid. Everyone at home started having the power to edit rotoscope stuff and put lightsabers into videos. So everyone made a bunch of Star Wars Kids videos, and every one of them was amazing. Yeah, all the E.T. games were found in a landfill. That E.T. game was just so lame, so bad. How about the E.T. porn parody? Oh, goodness. I haven't seen that. Paramount said there will be no show with Captain 7 of 9. Sure, they say that now, and then all of a sudden they say the opposite. I don't believe anything anyone says. Not even in Hollywood. It's even tough because a couple of years go by and they're needing some money and they're needing a show and they're needing the star to come back from a previous show. Whatever they say they won't do, they will do eventually. But maybe there will no longer be any Star Trek shows. Maybe Paramount said, okay, we've spent enough and it didn't work. I think all Paramount needs to do is put out 1 Star Trek show at a time. Don't have 3 or 4 going at once. A lot of Hollywood is trying to put out, content-wise, the Cheesecake Factory menu. Just too much stuff. They say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. No, put all your eggs in one basket at a time. There's too many baskets. Archmage Frey, good point. Season 3 of Picard is basically a movie to watch after Nemesis. A 10-hour movie, but a movie it is. And it's great. Yeah, Worf and Raffi's first face-to-face interaction was epic. Worf was epic as hell in Picard season 3. I mean, we always think of Worf as a badass, but kind of in a funny way. And there's a lot of humor with Worf in season 3, but the dude is a badass. And Michael Dorn did such a good job reprising Worf. He did so good. John Burns says, "You're a better person never having seen the E.T. porn parody." But Reese's Pieces probably still gave the rights to be used in the porn parody as well, right? Yeah, I mean, Barry says, yeah, when fans start demanding a 7 of 9 show, they will change their tune. Remember, there wasn't going to be a Strange New Worlds. There wasn't going to be a Pike TV show. Pike was just a character for a season of Discovery. But fans liked the character so much, they demanded an entire series with Pike. So they did it. And now it's a great show. People prefer it. Arkham says, the sweet spot for Trek would be one live action flagship now, one animated thing, and one specialty limited series. At least to me, yeah, I'm down for that. Like right now, the flagship right now could be Strange New Worlds, and then you have Lower Decks as the animated thing. And then they're talking about doing a Section 31 limited series. As a limited series, I guess I'm down for that. I just don't like Section 31 on any Trek series throughout history. I guess that first started in DS9, right? I do not like Section 31. I don't like the idea of Section 31. That means that Starfleet are liars, they're hypocrites, and they're fake. I don't like it. It means the magic isn't real. Michael Dorn is the man, I agree. That'd be an awesome sticker from that quote. Oh, Michael Dorn had a cameo in a detective TV show as a Klingon cosplayer. Well, also, Michael Dorn played a Klingon cosplayer dressed as Worf in Ted 2, Seth MacFarlane's movie Ted Part 2. Michael Dorn is throughout it, and at the end shows up wearing cosplay as Worf. And Patrick Warburton was wearing cosplay as the Tick. Breaking the fourth wall. WB and Paramount are apparently in talks to possibly merge. Yeah, I expect a lot of that to happen right now. All these studios have gotten so big, none of them can afford their content, so they're going to have to start teaming up and merging with other studios in order to keep putting out stuff. And to get your money. Michael Dorn was Carl Weathers' bodyguard in Rocky and in Chip's TV show. I do remember seeing him in Chips. I also remember seeing Michael Dorn in an episode of Heroes. I don't remember what his character ended up doing, but I do remember seeing his character, whatever character he was playing, but it was Michael Dorn. Section 31 is a streaming movie. Oh, just a movie. That's even better. It's just one and done. I could watch it and be done with it forever. I'll watch it in 2025 because I can't watch it in 2024. But also, I don't have Paramount. I won't have Paramount again until the next Black Friday when they start having Black Friday deals. Then I'll get it again. And by that time, it'll be almost 2025 and time to start watching some bigger IPs. Yeah, Michael Dorn voiced Cold Stone in Gargoyles. A couple TNG actors were doing voices in Gargoyles. Wasn't Marina Sirtis also doing voices in Gargoyles? I can't remember. Would you think I'm in the Orville that Bortus is an homage to Worf? A little bit, yes. A little bit. They wanted that type of character on the bridge, so they created a character that visually can be like a Klingon-esque type visual, but of course, totally different backstory. But also, if you think about Klingons are very testosterone driven, and so are the Moclans. But also, John Lamar, played by Jay Lee, is an homage to LeVar Burton. That was officially stated by the team. That's why Lamar eventually became the chief. John Larroquette dressed up as Maltz from Star Trek 3 in Night Court, and Brent Spiner was in a recent episode. Yes, Brent Spiner. I've lost track of the new Night Court. I enjoy it, but I was like, I'm not excited to keep watching just every once in a while when I'm in the mood, I guess. But yeah, Brent Spiner was reprising his role from the original Night Court, because he played some hillbilly of the galaxy type character, and he's reprising his role as that character in the new Night Court. And Jonathan Frakes was also in Gargoyles, it looks like. What's up, Jeremiah Ruiz? Good morning from the other side of the world. Good morning, or good afternoon where I'm sitting. Yeah, Riker, Troy, Janeway, Worf, I think Data as well. Wow, Gargoyles, the next generation, and a Voyager. Frakes was Xanatos, and Sirtis was Damona. John Burns now entering Glory Hole. Bortus's greatest line. Well, you will be silenced pretty good too, but yeah, Glory Hole's probably better. I sing. Glory Hole's still better. There are no strip clubs. Glory Hole's still better. Well, goodness gracious, you guys, it's been an hour and a half. It's about time for me to wrap this up. The South Park Paramount exclusives are great. Yes, they are. Deck KP20. Paramount has gotten some South Park exclusives. They're being sued by Max, who says they shouldn't be allowed to have South Park exclusives because Max has a contract with South Park. I don't know what's up with that. I haven't looked up into what's going on with that recently, but they are great. South Park Anywhere is great. So you can watch a lot of South Park specials and episodes on Max, but also there's some exclusives that are really great on Paramount. I highly recommend them. What's up, True Aloy? True Aloy says, I use You Will Be Silent all the time. Greatest of all timeline. All right, Barry, have a good evening. Jeremiah Ruiz says, I was going to ask about the Orville script you're making. How's it going? I'm putting together a timeline of all the events, and I'm trying to add more events because this is going to be a lot of dialogue in this project. They're going to dive deep into some Orville lore, as well as creating some lore that doesn't step on the toes of the already established. It's putting it all together a little at a time. Would you consider exposition heavy? No, it's not really exposition. I can't say, but it is going to. The dialogue will inform the audience of what's going on, but I wouldn't necessarily call it exposition. It's just it's going to be unique. Unfortunately, I can't get into the details because the details are a surprise. If I had a free copy of South Park Snow Day deck or DEC KP20, I would totally play it. I won't be purchasing it because I try not to purchase anything these days. But if I had a copy of it, I would totally play it. I love the first two South Park games. I know this game is going to be 3D, a 3D game. The other two are more 2D animated style for the most part. But yeah, I definitely want to play it. Those first two games were so good. And they were just like really great South Park. It was like a great South Park miniseries or something. Yeah, as River Song likes to say, spoilers. River Song. Doctor Who reference. Booger says, of course, your script should be a surprise. That way, when we see it, we will all the more entertained. That's the hope. But yeah, it's a big thing. It's not easy putting this story together. And also, I'm doing research to grab more things from the Orville universe to add into this story. But you'll see some aliens that you know of, and you'll see some new ones that you don't know of. And I can reveal that it's an original crew and an original ship. But that's about all I can get into as far as story goes. But we are going to try to get some heavy duty actors to be in it. Get some sci-fi faces that you guys know to be in this project. Fingers crossed. And of course, anyone wants to help me keep the lights on while I'm writing the script, there's super chats, and then there's the PayPal and Patreon links in the description below. Tip JP a beer. You really tipped me some light bulbs to keep the lights on. But because I don't drink that much anymore these days. But all the help helps me put it together. Otherwise, I got to be on the streets driving around all the time. Yeah, it's all new. There'll be some situations that you might have heard of before in the Orville universe. But it's going to be all new. You're not going to see some guy pretending to be Ed Mercer or someone pretending to be Bortus or Kelly. None of that stuff. All original characters. Oh, we're definitely getting it filmed. I've teamed up with Ares Studios, who put out the original Axanar and then the two upcoming Axanar that are hopefully going to come out this summer. We got a great set. We got a great crew. But yeah, we're going to be putting this together. I've already got a thumbs up from the Orville to give it a shot. Will you have a jelly character named Yoplay? I don't know if we'll have a jelly character at all. Maybe they'll be mentioned. I don't know if we'll actually attempt to do that character. We have some really great effects that we're capable of, but doing a jelly character, I think, might be a little tough. But you never know. Oddly enough, today's chat put a small bit of an idea in my head, and none of it from Orville remarks, says Booger. Uh-oh, we're putting ideas in people's heads, you guys. Barry says, hey, congratulations, best of luck with it. Let us know where we can possibly view it. Oh, absolutely. It'll be a huge thing. You'll be hearing about it for a long time because we're going to be working on it for a long time. And then, of course, there'll be place to view it. Hopefully a live premiere somewhere that people can go to and watch it live in person with us. We shall see. It's all in the early stages right now, so I don't want to get ahead of what it ends up being. If Derulio was on your ship, every conflict will be resolved. Well, I guess it depends if Derulio's pheromones are active or not, I guess. Dave Hildebrand says, oh my. But I like to say it, oh my. Will there be a two-hand T-Man in it? Hell no. There will be, well, maybe. Maybe there'll be a two-hand T-Man in it, but it'll all be it'll be an Easter egg that's in there that some people will see it and some people will not. But that's actually a great idea. Because I do want to put some stuff from the Orville episodes that we've seen into this story, but not in a knock you over the head type of way, kind of like an Easter egg type of way, so that some people will get it and others won't. So two-hand T-Man, that's a pretty good idea. Say it like you mean it. Derulio has to be in Heat. The movie Heat with Al Pacino. Derulio would be awesome knocking over banks. Updates on season 4. Just that Seth MacFarlane says he's working on getting us another season. That's all we got so far. But Seth MacFarlane is a very powerful dude in Hollywood, and the guy gets what he wants. So if he wants another season of the Orville, which he does, he's going to get it. Just have an egg salad sandwich materialize in the background briefly and then go away with no one noticing. Yeah, I would love to put an egg salad sandwich in the project without mentioning it at wall and just seeing who's giving it no attention at all and just see which of you see it, which of you get it. KP20 says there is no bigger Orville fan than JP. I agree with you. Can't wait for your fan film. Me too. And of course, there are lots of really big fans of the Orville. I'm one of them, but there are some other hardcore fans as well out there. Nice. Barry is excited. It's going to be a while. I got a lot of work to do. And then once I get my work done, I got to turn it in for others to get their work done. And then we all got to get our work done to bring the thing onto the screen for you guys to watch. Or a background character always wandering around eating from a jar of pickles. Oh, man. Do we want to attempt the makeup that it would take to get Tharl's race in the show, in the production? Any idea on the Palicki situation or how they work out that a lot of cast did get a lot older? Oh, I think whatever time passes between the last episode of the Orville and the next episode of the Orville will be the amount of time that passes in the Orville storyline. I think the next time we see the Orville, it'll be a couple years later in their timeline. So there'll probably be a lot of situations that went on in that timeline that we hear about. Maybe Portis left the ship for a little while and he came back, or, all kinds of different stuff. An Easter egg salad. Oh, badunch. Booger gets credit for that one. Let's put that on the screen. Dave Hildebrand, all this egg salad talk has me craving an egg salad sandwich. Ain't gonna lie, me too. I'm kind of craving one too. Jeremiah Ruiz, good day to all. I have to prepare for work. Live long and give JP all your money. Well, I can't argue with that, Jeremiah. Thank you so much. But the Adrian Palicki, I think she'll totally sign up when they start putting season 4 together and they say, hey, we have a year's worth of really great acting work for you to do. You want to do it? She's going to say yes, because what else she got going on? She would have to have something bigger than that going on for her not to say yes. Archmage says, maybe have someone get really scared by a banana. Since we know the future, we no longer need fear them. Oh, that's true. We'll get somebody scared by a banana and someone else goes, no, you don't need to be scared of banana. Oh, sorry. I'm banana phobic. Archmage says, oh, sorry, I was just assuming this takes place prior to the events we've seen. I guess I don't know that. So maybe no one is afraid of bananas anymore. Yeah, she'll be starting her role as Wonder Woman any day now. Yeah, she's had some letdowns in her career, unfortunately. Adrian was supposed to play Wonder Woman in a Wonder Woman TV series. That got scrapped. They did the pilot, and the whole thing got scrapped. She was supposed to have a starring role in a spinoff from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that didn't happen. The Orville is a great role, but there's a lot of downtime between seasons, so that's not the perfect situation. But once they fire things back up, I think she'll be like, hell yeah, let's do it. Cool idea. Have a Krill defect to the Union and be on board your ship. Those damn Krill. I would never trust a Krill while there's a Mocklin Krill unity. Also, I don't think a Mocklin Krill unity can last very long. Eventually, those Mocklins are going to get very tired of taking orders from a female. Their issue, not mine. But all right, you guys. I think it's time for me to end this stream. I do have things to do. I have a puppy to take care of. Oh, good news for those of you keeping track. My cat, Nicola. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, there's my dog, Ruthie, on this pillow down there. I forgot she was there. But my cat, Nicola, after a couple weeks of not coming in the house because we have a new puppy, Ruby, not Ruthie, but she's in her crate. Last night, she finally came back in the house, and I'm so excited that she's finally coming back in the house. I thought she was outside way too much. She was getting kind of dingy, but now she get in the house. I can brush her. I'm not going to try to give her a bath. She'll scratch me up, and I'm delicate. I got delicate veins under the skin. I don't want blood everywhere, but I'm happy that she is back. John Smith, last thought here, you guys. What sucked about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing was they never wrote her character back in, so they just screwed her, giggity. But it freed her for the Orville. And I'm so glad. Because I love Kelly Grayson. I love that character. I love the way Adrian plays that character. So I think because she's so loved by not only the cast and the crew, but the fandom, I think she would totally come back to us. But all right, you guys, I'll see you very soon. I hope all of you have a great day. And I do have another live stream already scheduled for next week, but also tomorrow. I don't have a link right now. I'll share it once I get one. I'm supposed to be doing a live show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Action Art channel. We'll just be talking about our behind the scenes experience when we're filming the final Action Art shot a couple weeks ago. We'll be talking about that and talking about other sci-fi and all the stuff that we like to talk about. So I'll see you guys very soon. And as always, I hope all your times are Orville-tastic fun times. See you. Love you. Bye-bye.
EGOTASTIC fun time. We're gonna have a great time. EGOTASTIC fun time. Give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your 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 money.